Okay, this is day one, leaving Elbow, 2001. Very smoky out here. 6 boats so far.
Did you hear Rick's comment? Extremely smoky conditions restricted visibility as we set off from Tufts Bay on the edge of Elbow, Saskatchewan, for a week of camping and sailing on Lake Diefenbaker. The 9th Elbow Run was underway, and smoke was not dampening enthusiasm. Six boats set out from Tufts Bay. Another boat joined us from the marina, bringing our flotilla of assorted boats to 7, including 3 who were new to the event. For a change from our usual route, we sailed in a northerly direction towards the Gardner Dam. Many of us had never been on this arm of the lake, so for us it was an uncharted territory.
Still day one, Elbow Run, 2021.
Winds were light and variable. Finally, through the haze we could make out the towers of the hydroelectric turbines at the dam. The South Saskatchewan River flows out of Treaty 7 territory in what is known as Alberta. In the area known as Saskatchewan, the river is the boundary line between Treaty 4 territory to the south and Treaty 6 to the north. The river was dammed in the early 1960s, creating a reservoir now called Lake Diefenbaker. From the Gardner Dam, the river continues to flow northwards through Treaty 6 territory to where it connects with the North Saskatchewan River to then continue on towards its final destination in the Hudson's Bay. Having sailed the length of the arm from Elbow to the Gardner Dam, we turned around. Bruce, on his Catalina 27, knows this arm very well, and he led us back south to Dunblane Bay to spend our first night. We were joined by an 8th boat when Dave and his crew arrived after a late departure from Tufts Bay. The 8 boats took up much of the shoreline of the bay and must have looked like quite a motley crew to the 2 wildlife officers who showed up in the evening to ensure we were all abiding by the law. A province-wide fire ban was in effect due to extreme dry conditions, so we could not light our communal campfire. However, our trusted firemaker friend Rick came to the rescue. He produced a propane fire pit, which is permitted, and soon we were gathered around, catching up with old friends and getting to know newcomers to the run. I was very happy to see Dave bring out his drone in the morning. The view from above provides a much different perspective of the lake and its surroundings, and Dave is an expert at catching that perspective. Day 2 started with a welcome breeze and continued smoky conditions. As often happens with a group of much different types and sizes, the boats were soon scattered.
Another beautiful day. High noon, starting to warm up. Smoke is kind of disappearing. It's supposed to be 31 degrees today. Started about 14 degrees this morning.
Arnie, in the smallest boat, a 15-foot Phoenix 3, set the pace for much of the morning.
Just passing Elbow, going around the corner towards Hitchcock Bay. Came from the dam.
After turning the bend called the Elbow, we sailed a short distance and then pulled up on a sandy beach. Two of the boats, Bruce on his Catalina 27 and Scott and Maggie on their Hunter 260, and their guest Sarah, were about to leave the group. All had previous commitments which prevented them from continuing with us. We took advantage of the beach break to stretch our legs and to wish our new friends a safe return, with the hopes they will be back to join us for next year's run. We set out again, passing Hitchcock's Bay and coming ashore for the night at Mashkapeatin Bay. We were joined by a new boat, Blue Sky, bringing our number back to 7 boats for the night. Once again, we gathered around Rick's fire pit and swapped stories from the day's sail. In the morning, Rick and Claudia left the run to return to Elbow to tend to their commitments. Generously, Rick left his fire pit in Dan's care on his boat.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
There we go. And he's off.
Once again, we were down to 6 boats, sailing under overcast skies. Later, a lightning storm sent us ashore to wait while it passed it overhead. Later yet in the day, we found a bay suitable for the night. David chose to stay on the deeper side to better accommodate the draft of his CNC 25, and Dan, on cool change, joined him. Dave, on official retreat, pulled in next to the rest of us with our shallow draft boats. Light rainy conditions did not entice us to sit around the campfire, so everyone gathered in the tent on the Prairie Mermaid for more conversation and camaraderie.
Taking this serious today.
Well, watching Getting to South Command.
Where are we going?
No, not necessarily. I'm just getting it off the sand. Sometimes it takes.
I guess we may as well go.
Oh, did I get back down on the dirt again?
Hey.
Dave flew his drone to catch the action in the morning of day 4. 5 boats pulled onto the lake within sight of Prairie Lake Regional Park. Once again, I have to express my appreciation for Dave and his drone. There is something quite majestic about a group of sailboats gracefully moving around on the water. Once his drone flying was completed, Dave and his crew turned back to return to Elbow. Day 4 is decision day for the Elbow Run, where we have to decide how far to continue before the fleet turns around to head home. When we made it to Beaver Flat, 4 boats decided, due to the light winds we had experienced, it was time to turn around. David and Charlie on Blue Sky wanted to see Saskatchewan Landing, which is not too far ahead, and so they pushed on. For those of us turning around, we went ashore to check out Grumpy Bob's. We heard he offered a wonderful assortment of ice cream, and we decided we deserved a treat to celebrate getting as far as Beaver Flat. We were fascinated by the caves we saw along the beach, created as a result of the continuing erosion as lake levels rise and fall. We sailed until we found a beach that was okay for the night. Once again, we made use of Rick's propane fire pit. Brent brought out a bag of fresh corn on the cob, and we roasted it on the fire pit. Thanks, Brent, for the corn. Thanks again, Rick, for the fire pit. Light winds on Wednesday morning dropped to an occasional wisp in the afternoon. David and Charlie caught up to us. They had overnighted at Saskatchewan Landing and were motoring back to Hitchcock's Bay. With little progress on the water and temperatures rising, the rest of us decided to pull off the lake earlier than usual so we could cool off with a swim. This also gave us an opportunity to check out their local terrain, with scattered remnants of a much earlier time dotting the hills between clumps of flowers native to the area. On Thursday morning, a decent wind got us back to Muscatine Bay for the night. The Elbow Run 2021 was almost over, and already we were making plans for the next one. Friday provided even better winds, and the remaining 4 boats made it safely back to Elbow in good time. It was a great week of sailing and camping and enjoying the company of others who like to move with the wind. See you all in 2022 for the 10th anniversary of the Elbow Run. It promises to be a great time.